We've been hearing a lot of news about semiconductor shortage and are feeling the impact. In a way, these chips are like seeds that satisfy our growing hunger and need for technology. So it's not much of a stretch when Beijing refers to real seeds and livestock as a farm's semiconductor chips. This is because Beijing relies not only on importing chips to build its technology, but also on importing seeds to feed its population. And it fears that the West will weaponize food and seeds against China. In fact, the CCP believes that agricultural competition in the seed industry is of strategic importance. Some Chinese agriculture experts call the rush to seed independence an invisible high-tech war. Hello, welcome to my show. I'm Lei. Zhu Qizhen, the director of the Institute of Farming at the China Agriculture University, is one who holds that view. Zhu said, without excellent seeds, not only is the food supply not guaranteed, but agricultural security may also be strangled by other nations. On February 21st, Beijing released its first official decree in 2021. Just like the past 18 years, the first decree of the year is always about farmers and agriculture. This year, development of the seed industry was singled out for the first time. Previously, at the Central Economic Work Conference in December last year, Xi Jinping stressed the need to tackle the bottleneck of Chinese agriculture, the lack of development regarding seeds and animal husbandry. The Chinese Communist Party leaders remember very well a quote from one of China's old friends, former U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger. Kissinger said, "Who controls the food controls the people." The CCP is very aware of the role food has played during dynastic changes, and it fears that its opponent, the United States, will weaponize food in their strategic competition. For example, food shortages in St. Petersburg in 1917 helped trigger the Bolshevik takeover. It was also a turning point for the collapse of the Soviet Union. To solve its food shortage, the Soviet government had to accelerate its debts to buy food in the international market when the global food prices rose. By the time of its dissolution in 1991, the Soviet Union had a foreign debt of $120 billion and was in the predicament of having no prospects of securing loans to buy food. So, 6 weeks before its collapse, the Soviet regime raised bread prices by 600% in one day. Due to the lack of protection of germplasm resources, many local crop varieties are disappearing rapidly in China. According to China's third national crop germplasm resources census, in 375 counties in 6 provinces, 72% of local crops have disappeared, including many high-quality, disease-resistant, and drought-tolerant crops. In a large rice-producing province, local rice varieties have been reduced from 1,366 in 1956 to the current 80 varieties, and China's traditional 15,000-plus soybean varieties have dropped by 90%. This has led to the problem of having to rely on imported seeds, aka farm chips. According to the China Seed Trade Association, from 2014 to 2019, the country's dependence on foreign seeds reached 72%, and this worries Beijing. China's major crops, rice and soybeans, are basically domestic varieties. Wheat varieties are mixed. It has the lowest self-sufficiency rate in breeding corn. The corn grown in northeast China, such as in Jilin province and in the Yellow and Huai River regions, are mainly from German seeds and the Centaur 355, an American seed variety. Compared to grain seeds, vegetable seeds are more heavily dependent on imports. China imported $224 million of vegetable seeds in 2019, accounting for more than half of the total import of crop seeds. Foreign vegetable seeds basically cover all varieties, and the market share of the top 10 local seed companies is only 15%. Keshan County in Heilongjiang Province is known as the hometown of potatoes in China, Half of its potatoes are from the American Atlantic variety of seeds. Most of the seeds for the white radish that China's 1.4 billion people eat are imported from Korea, and pepper seeds come from Israel. If Japan stops exporting broccoli seeds, China will see no broccoli. Beets, onions, carrots, eggplants, tomatoes, the most common vegetables on Chinese people's dinner tables are grown from foreign seeds. In addition to food and vegetable seeds, many of China's farm animal breeds are imported. Before 1994, for instance, local pigs accounted for more than 90% of China's market share. By 2007, this figure had fallen to only 2%. In terms of China's pig breeding industry chain, the purebred pigs imported from abroad are the grandparents or great-grandparents of the pork sold in the market. At present, the pork Chinese eat come from mostly American DUROC pigs, Danish long white pigs, and British York pigs. Chicken is the Chinese people's favorite poultry. Former Minister of Agriculture Han Changfu once said that the ancestors of the chickens Chinese eat were almost entirely foreign. For example, China imports 100% of white feather broiler breeds. That's about 1 million sets each year. Before 2014, more than 95% was imported from the United States. After the outbreak of bird flu in the U.S. in 2014, the imports now come from the UK, France, Spain, Poland, and New Zealand. Another Chinese favorite, duck, is also a foreign breed. Xu Guangdi, former Shanghai mayor, said that 99% of Beijing ducks are now British Cherry Valley duck breeds. The prices of foreign seeds and livestock breeds are not cheap. Heilongjiang Academy of Agricultural Sciences researcher Zhang Hui said that some foreign vegetable seed varieties cost dozens of times more than domestic seeds, so much so that there is a Chinese expression, imported seeds sold by the grain, domestic seeds sold by the pound. In the case of peppers, the imported varieties can cost 3 US cents per seed. If prices are so expensive, why do the Chinese still love foreign seeds? Xinhua News quoted the chairman of a Northeast Vegetable Farmers Professional Cooperative. Foreign seeds are really good. Take peppers for example. Domestic seeds can only produce 2 harvests, while imported seeds can produce 3 harvests, and the peppers look better and sell for higher prices. Foreign pig breeds are fast-growing and can be slaughtered in about 6 months. By comparison, China's locally bred pigs need a feeding cycle of 7 to 10 months, some more than a year. Zhao Tao, manager of Nan'ao Green Hand Agriculture Company in Shaoguang City, said in 2017 that China is 20 to 30 years behind top international seed companies. Surely, the problem that's hurting the domestic seed industry is uniquely a Chinese one: copycats or imitations. Researchers spend tens of millions of yuan to develop a new seed variety, but some merchants spend just a few thousand to create an imitation that floods the market. And the worst of it is that fake seeds cannot be detected with the naked eye. The only way to detect them is through the actual farming process. By the time you find out, the damage is already done. For example, the China Sunflower Industry Alliance found that there are about 50 sunflower varieties developed by domestic breeders. But the number of new sunflower varieties registered with the State Department of Agriculture and Rural Affairs is as high as 1,900. Zhang Hongping, the executive president of the alliance, said, "Our country took more than 10 years to breed new sunflower seeds to defeat foreign monopoly, but lost to copycat seeds in a very short time." Similar to China's semiconductor industry, the lack of talent is one of the biggest challenges the seed industry faces. Also similar to semiconductors, the regime has been stealing from foreign companies. State media reported that Heilongjiang Academy of Agricultural Sciences has built a national potato germplasm seedling library and has collected more than 2,600 copies of potato germplasm, many of which are foreign wild germplasm. The media report acknowledged that in recent years, foreign control of germplasm resources has become more stringent, and Chinese having access to foreign germplasm is getting difficult. The topic of food crisis is too big to be covered in one video. In my next video, I'll talk about several driving forces behind China's food shortages. That's all for today. Thank you. See you soon.